All arise. The High Court of Kenya is now in session, presided over by Hon. Lord Truth Watchdog, our judge. We are gathered here today to hear criminal case number 47 of 2025, a Republic versus William Samoei Ruto. The accused stands charged with abuse of office and unconstitutional interference with freedom of expression under Article 33 of the Constitution of Kenya. The matter before this court involves the abrupt and forceful shutdown of a school play titled Echoes of War, performed at Butere Girls High School. It is alleged that the president, through state security agencies, ordered the disruption of the play due to the content being critical of government conduct. Let the prosecutions proceed with the opening submissions. Your Honor, this is Counsel Otieno Mboya, and I will be representing the school in this matter. This is not a simple case. This is not a simple censorship. This is a case about power, raw unchecked power, used to silence the voices of the young citizens. On the 17th of March 2025, students of Butere High School performed a powerful play titled Echoes of War. The play touched on themes of corruption, poverty, and the burden of leadership in post-election Kenya. But instead of applause, Your Honor, they were met with armed police officers, kids, Your Honor, sent to hold the performance midway. Officers who, we shall prove, acted not of their violation, but on direct orders from the highest office in the land, the office of the president. We will call forth a teacher who was present. We will present students who are traumatized. And we will produce evidence showing communication between the State House operatives and the regional police commanders, instructing them to stop the anti-government drama at all costs. Your Honor, the Constitution of Kenya guarantees every citizen, even a 16-year-old girl on stage, the right to speak truth to power. Today, we ask the court to affirm the right and to hold the president accountable. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Otieno. You may proceed to call your first witness. Kindly state your full name and occupation for the record.
My name is Miriam Acheng. I am a teacher at Butere Girls High School, and I serve as drama club patron teacher.
Ms. Ochieng, were you present on the day of the play Echoes of War?
Yes, I was. I supervised the students throughout the process, from scripting to stage performances.
What happened during the performance?
We had just reached the scene where the character representing a corrupt leader was being confronted by the youth. Suddenly, 4 armed officers entered the school grounds. They demanded that the play be stopped immediately, saying it was politically subversive.
Did they provide any legal reason or warrant?
No, they only said they were acting under orders from Nairobi.
Did they identify who issued those orders?
One officer, whose name I later learned was Inspector Kesa, mentioned they had received instructions from the office of the president directly.
And how did the students respond?
They were terrified. One student fainted. Others cried. They were minors, Your Honor. Talented, hopeful children who simply wanted to speak through art.
Thank you, Ms. Achieng. No further questions. Mr. Njuguna, Counsel of Defense, you may go ahead and cross-examine the witness. Good afternoon, Ms. Achieng.
Good afternoon.
You testified that you supervised the students during the development of Echoes of War, in quotes. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Were you aware that the content of the play could be interpreted as politically sensitive?
Yes, we were aware it touched on social issues, and it's reflected on Kenyan society, but it is also protected under the Kenyan constitution.
Did you seek prior clearance from the Ministry of Education or Kenya National Drama and Film Festival Committee for the performance of the content?
Yes, we submitted the synopsis as required, but we were not told if it violated any rules.
So you proceeded to perform a play in front of minors, portraying a sitting president as corrupt, warmongering, and unfit to lead, without anticipating the national security concerns?
We portrayed a fictional leader. We never mentioned any president by name.
Let me put it to you, Mr. Cheng. Your play was a political theater designed to incite dissent among impressionable young minds. And when responsible authorities took action to prevent unrest, you now call it censorship. Isn't that so?
It was art. It was not rebellion. It is the truth. And if the truth strikes the powerful one, then they should ask themselves why.
No further questions, Your Honor. No further questions? Witness dismissed. Counsel, bring your next witness, please. Please state your name and your role in the play Echoes of War.
My name is Aisha Wanjiru, a Form 3 student at Butere Guys High School. I played the lead role of Nafula, a girl who questions why there is so much violence in a country.
Can you please describe what happened during the performance?
I was halfway through my monologue. If justice is a stranger, then who will call us free? Then all of a sudden, the police came and stopped us and checked at my scout's uniform. I was so scared.
What did that feel like, Aisha?
Like my voice was stolen. Like I was a criminal. We were not criminals. We had rehearsed this for months. He wanted Kenyans to listen to us, not to silence us, right?
Did any officer mention who sent them?
Yes, one officer said this is from the top. It is from the president himself.
Thank you, Aisha. You were brave then, you are brave now. I'm proud of you. Counsel Njuguna, do you wish to cross-examine Aisha? No, Your Honor. This court has listened with great attention and concern to the testimonies of Ms. Achieng and Ms. Wanjiru, two voices among many who have never had imagined they would one day be central to a national conversation about power, truth, and freedom. It is not lost to this bench that the incident in question did not occur in a political rally, nor on a city street. It is not lost on this bench that the incident in question did not occur in a political rally, nor on a city street. It occurred on a school stage, a place that should be sacred to thought, to exploration, to the fearless expression of our future leaders. And what was expressed was not treason. It was not incitement. It was a performance. Art, sharp and comfortable and reflective. Yes, but art nonetheless. And if a nation cannot tolerate its reflection in the eyes of its children, then it must ask, is it the mirror that offends or the truth it shows? The court is deeply disturbed by the allegations that armed officers, under the alleged instructions of the head of state, entered a school to suppress a play. Whether or not these actions was justified will be determined by the evidence. But let this moment be clear. This court upholds the Constitution Article 33 guarantees freedom of expression. Article 1 vests sovereign power in the people of Kenya, and that includes students in school uniforms. We shall continue with the proceeding to uncover the truth wherever it may lead. Prosecution, you may continue. Your Honor, in this case, we have not relied on speculation. We have relied on testimony, credible, direct, and consistent, from a teacher and a child. Testimonies that describe a sin not democracy should tolerate. State officers storming a school stage, disrupting a peaceful educational activity, all because the message was inconvenient to the powerful. We present not just the actions, but the intentions behind them. The officers on the ground referenced orders from the top. Disruption wasn't random, it was surgical. It was designed to shut down expression critical to the regime. Let us be clear. This is not about politics. It's about constitutional boundaries. Even a president, however powerful, must operate within the law. We ask this court that, number one, the president abused the powers of his office. Number two, he violated the students' and teachers' constitutional rights. He unlawfully used law enforcement for personal and political motives. We ask this court to find that, number one, the president abused the powers of his office. Number two, he violated the students' and teachers' constitutional rights. Number three, he unlawfully used law enforcement for personal and political motives. And we ask for appropriate remedies, both declaratory and penal, to affirm to the public that no citizen is above the Constitution. Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, what has been painted here today is passionate narrative, but it is not proof. We have heard witnesses who interpreted the actions of police officers, but we have no direct evidence linking the orders to the President Ruto himself. No signed directive, no official communication, no whistleblower testimony from within the State House. Moreover, national security and the welfare of minors are responsibilities the President is sworn to uphold. If authorities, rightly or wrongly, perceived the performance as a threat to the national harmony or political stability, then the appropriate response was to pause and investigate. We must not criminalize execution cushion, not allow political theatrics to be mistaken for legal proof. The defense submits that there is insufficient evidence to find criminal wrongdoing, and we ask the court to dismiss the charges in their entirety. Thank you, Your Honor. The court has carefully reviewed the evidence presented, listened to the testimonies, and considered the weight of the legal arguments made by both parties. Let me begin by stating clearly, the Constitution of Kenya is the supreme law of the land. No person, no matter their title or position, is above it. And today, this court has witnessed an abuse of the highest office in the land. The actions of the president, as outlined in the testimonies of witnesses, teachers, and students alike. We are not those of a leader concerned with the national welfare, but rather those of individuals who sought to suppress the truth. The truth of a generation struggling with corruption, struggling with poverty, struggling with a government that promises change, but delivers the same. The events of the 9th April 2025 were not an isolated incident. They were a deliberate act of the state, were not an isolated incident. They were a deliberate act of state power being used to crush free expression, to silence criticism, and to instill fear in the hearts of those who would dare speak. The president, through his office and through the misuse of law enforcement, interfered with the fundamental rights of students to engage in artistic expression, rights that are protected under Article 33 of the Constitution, which ensure freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impart information and ideas through any media. The evidence was clear. Police officers entered the school grounds, disrupted the play, and told the witnesses they were acting on orders from the top, directly referring to the president. This was not a matter of national security or a state of emergency, but rather a calculated political move to prevent young people from speaking freely. Therefore, after careful consideration, the court finds President William Samoei Ruto guilty of, number one, abuse of office under Section 46 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act. Two, violation of constitutional rights under Article 33 of the Constitution of Kenya, particularly the right to freedom of expression. Three, unlawful use of state security agencies to suppress political dissent. In the light of the seriousness of these charges and the chilling effect that such actions have on the right of every citizen to express themselves freely, the court hereby orders, number one, the immediate suspension of the president from office pending further investigations. Number two, a formal inquiry into the involvement of the law enforcement agencies into the unlawful disruption of peaceful expressions. Number three, the payment of damages to the students, teachers, and the Butere girls high school community for the emotional and psychological harm suffered as a result of this unlawful act. Let this judgment be a warning to all in power. Freedom of expression is non-negotiable. It is the livelihood of democracy, and this court will not tolerate its suppression under any guise. The case is adjourned. The case is adjourned.